guys, welcome to 'Cause We Can Farms. For those of you that are new here, we have a challenge going out to other YouTubers that are veterans. So if you are a veteran, or if you watch some channels and they're veterans, send out a link to them. During the holiday season, we have a lot of veterans that commit suicide. My own mother committed suicide December 12th of 2000. So this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm challenging all of you to bring awareness, to put out the Veteran Crisis phone number in your videos, to let other veterans know that we have their six. So what I'm asking you to do is in your video somewhere, talk about the fact that we need to reach out and we need to have each other's back. It is extremely important for us to build community, and I really want you to do something. You don't have to put it on your channel. It doesn't have to be this public thing that you do. Reach out to somebody that you were stationed with, that you were in the military with, and reconnect, and let's make sure we have each other's six, because most of us, when we get down, we isolate. And that's pretty common in the veteran community. And I think this will make a difference. I know when people reached out to me, it did for me. And I just want to say that I am Specialist Heather Haggard, United States Army, and I have your six. So the rest of this video, guys, is going to be Kimmy and I answering questions that you guys have put into the comments. And we will be talking to you in the comment section of this video. Let me know if you like premieres, if you want to see us do some more of those, and if you like these Q&A videos, because we definitely like being able to go into a little bit more detail in our answers to you than what we can actually put in the comments. Otherwise, we'd be answering comments and not getting this bill done. So, see you guys in a bit. Should I sing them my song about the sun being in my face?
I'm sure they'd love to hear your melody.
We'll do that at the end. We'll save it. We'll save it for the end. Keep people on. So, to be completely honest with you, we took about 5 days off. And so we're going to answer your questions because we don't have footage that is ready to go out.
Nope. We have absolutely no excuse.
No, we have an excuse. We were physically, mentally exhausted, and it rains. At least one of those days. But it's been cold.
But we did work while we were sick. So,
we did.
I mean, we did that.
We had that push. We have that really good weather. We had to push through that really good weather. And then we had cold, cloudy, wet air, rain. A little bit of rain.
As y'all can tell, it's beautiful today. It is stunning.
It is, and the sun is like, so I'm going to do this whole one with my eyes closed.
Yep. The sun is right there, shining down on us.
It feels amazing, and I'm very grateful for it. This is probably our last really good warm weather, I think.
Yeah, next week it's going to be down in the 20s at night, and 40s as the high.
Yeah. So those of you that have not been watching our channel, shame on you.
You have been missing out.
Missing out. Go back. Watch all of them.
Well, maybe start
binge watch
with the most recent stuff. Maybe the beginning of the barn build.
So we have been building a barn. We are on 73 acres up here in northern Idaho.
On top of a mountain.
On top of a mountain. We are the mountain ladies.
We have been coined as the mountain women. I'm not sure how we feel about that.
We're just not sure. But you guys have kind of stopped questioning us and our shenanigans. But there have been a few questions that have popped up. So we're going to answer those. And I think one thing that I really want to start with is how many or how much money have we raised already for our plates with our, because we do have a couple questions on that particular thing. So we'll lead into that. We did a video explaining that we are doing kind of a crowdfunding for plates for the barn, and I guess not kind of, it is.
It absolutely is.
And you guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you so much for being so giving and willing to help.
Yeah, so we've raised right around $1,000. We need at least, it's about $1,550 for the plates to be cut and made, and then we've got shipping that goes on to that. So I will link a video. This is really hard for me to like even look up at all. Like I feel like
She's not being rude.
I'm not being rude. I just can't look up without the sun super in my face. So yeah, so we've got quite a few of those sold. There are still spaces available. So if you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran and you want to get their dog a set of dog tags hung in honor of them in our barn, then contact me and I can help you with all of that.
And you can contact her by sending an email or putting it down in the comments.
There's a PayPal link in the description, so you can go there and donate. But if you want all the specs on it and all the things, I can't. This is a terrible sitting spot. It's great as far as I'm warm and the sun is on me, so it feels really good.
So the tough thing is, if we have you guys over there, then you get the glare of the sun on the camera, so then you guys can't see anything either. So, and the background is not as beautiful.
So, fun fact about me, I have a lot of albino pigma in my eyes, which is why this bothers me more than it does most people.
Well, and you are facing straight on the side.
On it.
I have it on my side.
Maybe
here.
we should switch sides.
We absolutely can.
Does it bother you as much?
I do not know. We can try.
Insert fun music here.
Chair moving again.
Here's drink. Oh gosh, that's so much better. Now you're squinty. See?
Yeah.
It's kind of terrible, isn't it?
It is hard to see.
Could we shift them here and then we would both be looking in this direction? Okay, so we have raised about $1,000 right around there. There are some people that mentioned that they were going to send checks. I have not received any of those as of yet. So if you are one of those people, make sure that you email me at causewecaan@yahoo.com and let me know that you've dropped it in the mail, because then I can hold that spot. So because we have 60 of these. There are a few things that we're probably going to be doing to continue to raise money for this barn build, and the reason why, or information on why we're doing it that way. For those of you that haven't been watching us, we are opening this property up to our local veterans to come and learn things and build community and just
work with their hands and
just help with the all around sense of isolation that we have a tendency to do whenever we get out of the service. So we're just trying to rebuild that community for our veterans that are in our local area. And of course, if you're out of state and you're visiting, come see us.
And honestly, it helps us too. I mean, I know I still have issues with holding people at arm's length. I don't trust you until I trust you. I mean, it takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And I am working on that. Sometimes I fall back into my old patterns.
I do find that because we both share that, and I think that's something that a lot of veterans share, that when you've let someone in and then they do something, it's even more traumatizing.
Yeah,
so it
absolutely.
takes and then you bounce back into that. We were in that space earlier last year, I guess through last winter, we were kind of in that space, and it was just really hard to pull back out of that, which I think is why we really decided to do this.
I'm actually, I never thought of it that way, but that's kind of when I went back into that.
Same.
Was after that. Oh,
Same.
wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Like to figure that out about yourself.
That I was thinking about that earlier today. I actually saw this thing and it said, it was a little short and I can't remember who the people were. But anyway, one guy was interviewing another guy and he had said, you said in an interview that you are grateful for the awful things that happened. And I'm totally not getting this exact, but it's the gist. Because you get to live or something like that. It was something to that effect.
and from it.
And the thing of it is I think learning to be grateful for the things that I can be grateful for, because awful things are going to happen in this world, and I'm not going to assign them to God or to the devil or, you know, any of those crazy things. Awful things are going to happen when you get any kind of, you get animals around each other, something bad can happen. You get people around each other, something bad can happen. I mean, just in general, bad things can happen. And so realizing those things are going to happen, what can I be grateful for? I am super grateful that it's warm today because we are going into winter and cold and all of those things. So even if it's just that little tiny thing, you can focus on that.
Well, yeah, and especially like in the mornings, it's really cold. Our toes are cold. We're not acclimated to this temperature yet. No. So yeah, when the sun is shining on us, it makes you even more grateful.
Well, and we get a lot of fog off of the lake, obviously, in the morning. So it's super wet air, which is to me even colder.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there, but let's get to a question. And so we're kind of talking about.
So the first one I have is, do we have? Are veterans going to live in this barn shop?
So we're not. This is not going to be like a destination place that people come and stay and heal and do that kind of thing. I know that the VA does have things like that you can do. We are not going to do that here. This is my home. This is our home. And, you know, my family lives here and those kinds of things. We are wanting to do clinics, you know, kind of maybe bring somebody in that could teach different things, like a master gardener or
animal husbandry.
The animal husbandry. Of course, we'll share everything that we know at this point, but we're always ready to learn more. I would definitely like to have some butchering classes here, and I know that Randy used to work in a butcher shop, so that's something that, you know, we could get together and we could do these things together.
Well, maybe I could even do some beef teaching
stuff. Yeah. So things like that, things that will bring us together. We can learn, we can do stuff together. We're going to be opening up the garden in the spring. We have a huge space that we're clearing, that we're going to get cleared. It's going toward, the trees are going towards the barn. So that area is fenced off already, but it's going to get better fencing, and we're going to start planting, and we're going to do a lot of planting. So, you know, that's something that we're going to be putting out there for people to come out and start planting. If they haven't gardened or whatever, we'll just show you what we know and kind of do some community gardening.
And the bigger the garden gets, the more hands it's great to have to help work things and collect things. And, you know, sometimes you get an abundance and you don't always have time to do all the canning that you may want to do. And so it's nice to be able to give back and let other people take some of that home.
And that's something that we will be also, because I've done a little bit of canning. Darla's done a ton of canning, so I'm throwing them out.
I haven't done any, so I'm excited to learn.
So yes, it'll be fun to bring in some of our other homesteaders that have done more or whatever, and we can teach those kind of classes. I pass down those skills and do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then the barn is all about
that camaraderie again.
Yeah. The barn is all about you know, being able to set up the shop, because it will be the shop for building stuff and doing things. So we'll be building, you know, raised beds, we'll be, you know, building benches, we'll be building those kinds of things. So, you know, also just kind of doing that kind of stuff.
Speaking of the barn, here's a question. Are we going to seal the wood?
We are, but we're going to answer all the barn questions over there.
Oh, okay. Skip that. Ignore that. How about, do we have any other channels?
We do. So I have Cause We Can Farm to Table. I'm not super active on it, but that's just because we've been so busy. And that channel, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Farm to Table is more of the stuff, non-building stuff that's going on here. So if you're not subscribed, go over and subscribe, and I will be working on videos for that channel.
And I have Waking Up Country, which is more of my journey coming from city life to country life, learning about different things, showing you what I've learned, etc. Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll have any more. I mean, I guess if there is a demand, we'd love to do a podcast. We've talked about that. doing a podcast.
And you really had a lot of interest in your dog training, so I mean that might be something down the road.
May possibly do a dog training channel. We'll see.
Depending on time.
Depending on time. The thing with making videos is, you know, you've got to film it. You've got to set it. I have to get fully dressed because a lot of times I do a lot of things in my pajamas. As does any good homesteader.
Even I've started doing that.
You just go out in your pajamas, you start getting things done.
I'm a real country girl now.
So yeah, I mean, you've got to get, you know, appropriate for being on film and then set everything up instead of just, so it takes longer. Everything takes longer.
It sure does.
And then you're editing and then you're uploading. And right now we do have Starlink. We just don't have it set up because of funds. So it's going to be about $120 a month to set that up. And I'm not going to set that up and have that bill until I take things out of storage, which will happen when the barn is, you know, done to a point that I can put things in there.
That will be amazing.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to not feel awkward talking to the channel?
So I would say, well, once I was no longer by myself. When I was by myself, that was weird. When I was just me up here all by myself on the hill and I'm standing here talking to a camera and I didn't know the subscribers yet. I didn't feel like I knew them yet. So that was really weird. And then you go through this, well, at least I did, this super like, what I have to say isn't important. You know, again, what are my goals? Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to share things? You know, there's just, so once I figured all of that out, and then honestly, once my give a damn was broken, once I just honestly did not care who's watching or if the negative comments that have to, in fact, they're hilarious to me. I think they're really funny when someone says something hateful.
Especially since you guys are such good bulldogs and you protect us and you go in and you set them straight. So we appreciate you.
So once I no longer cared about that. So, I mean, I guess I would have to say probably for the last year and a half. And I think I've been YouTubing. This is this year 3? This will, like 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say it would be about a year and a half. But that's because you've been here now 2 years.
2 years. And I still have sometimes some problems. But, I mean, I've gotten a lot more comfortable, especially when we're doing stuff together and I pop the camera up and talk to you guys. But sometimes I fumble my words when I'm doing my own videos and I feel so awkward at times still. But, yeah, it takes a little while. It's really just feeling comfortable in what you're talking about. Yeah. And you know, having such a great audience like you guys that are so supportive and are not just an audience, you guys have become friends with us. So, yeah, I mean, I know that sounds weird. We have a bunch of internet friends, but you guys really have.
Right?
Like, it's amazing.
Well, and so in the beginning, when I would get advice, people would say, treat the camera like a person. And you're like, I mentally cannot wrap my brain around that. Like, I literally cannot. And then now it's like, I think of, you know, our ride and dies who like always comment, who, you know, always are doing things like, especially the commenting, because we totally get to know you through your comments. And you know, we have Brenda who always like says a prayer for us, which is just huge. Yeah. And I look for her. I look for those comments and I look for specific people's comments. And in fact, when I don't see their comment, I'm like, oh, are they okay? Yeah. Like I get worried. I try to, how can I contact them if, you know, if I can or can't. So,
yeah, we've actually had one particular person stop messaging, and
yes,
Terry, she used to ask a ton of questions and they were very good questions.
Yeah.
And so we worry about her and hope and pray that she's okay. So Terry, if you're out there, we miss you.
Yes, if you're not commenting, we miss you. If you're watching but not commenting. So yeah, I would guess I would have to say it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to tell them that or not, but I'm going to throw it out there, you know, because that's what friends do.
Here comes a bus. Here comes a bus. Here comes a bus.
She does feel awkward when I'm on the other side of the camera just staring at her.
Yeah.
When she's talking and it's just her and I'm staring at her, then she feels
I get high levels of anxiety. Like I almost want to throw up.
It's so funny. I'll start shaking. You know how you shake on the inside, but your outside body's not showing it? That happens. And then I'm like, I don't even know if I just pronounced that word right. It's just really funny.
And the funniest thing is, I usually step away from the camera, but lately I've been like, okay, I'll step back to the camera, because when she looks at me, she's looking off to the side. So this way she's looking forward at you guys. And I think that just makes it worse. So anyways, that's a good question.
Matt and Brenda, Matt was like, don't look at me whenever I do this thing. I totally get you. It's still awkward.
Yep. Let's see. This one's a fun one. Is Randy married?
Yes, and his wife will shank you.
Darla and Randy are amazing people.
They're mom and pops for us.
Yeah, they are. Although they're really not old enough, I would say, necessarily to be mom and pops.
They kind of are. We had this conversation in the car the other day.
I don't want them to feel old.
They're not old.
You know what?
They're full of wisdom.
And they have more energy than we do. I don't know where they get it.
I want Randy's energy all day long.
Darla's too.
And knowledge, yeah.
I tell you. But yeah.
So yes. Randy's married. He's like our pops.
He has a lovely wife.
He swoops in and he fixes things and adjusts things. Man, coming in the other day and just taking, because I am not a mechanic. I'm absolutely not a mechanic. My brain does not even function that way. And so you need me put oil here, and then then I do that. So for him to just drive over here and do that and get the sawmill going so that we could actually finish our day was so fantastic. So fantastic.
All right. So
that's my selfish reason for wanting a lot of veterans here, because they know things.
And each one knows different things.
Things.
Super, super helpful. But also because we just feel so comfortable around those people because they've gone through experiences.
Yeah.
Not saying that civilian people don't, but it's just you automatically. It's okay. I'll give you an example. So it's like when we went to Habitat for Humanity to get a stove, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm strong. I'm going to put it up in the truck." And we're like, "Are you strong?" And he's like, "We're like, did you?" Have you ever done farm work? And he's like, yes. And we're like, okay, we 100% know that you are, if you're farm strong, you're strong. Because we were going to do it ourselves.
I just bucked 300 bales of hay, and we're like, okay, you got
so it's kind of like that with the military. That's just my analogy there. Is you say, oh yes, I was in the military, and I automatically trust. I mean, there's automatically that trust.
Yes.
I don't know.
You made it through basic training.
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't go crazy. You obviously are. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's so funny.
Okay, so there's a question about why doesn't Victor, your son, help more?
Oh, well, because I don't have enough subscribers to pay him a salary. And he has a wife and children and a business that he runs. He owns his own business. He's self-employed. And he's also building up here. So when he does, it's such a big deal because he is actually stopping what he's doing and coming over to help.
Because he literally is up at the crack of dawn and he is working into the dark.
Yes.
You can still hear stuff moving. He is a good man.
Yeah.
Yep. He is a hard worker.
Yeah.
So
I raised a good one.
So along the same lines, why don't we hire people?
Okay. So this is one that I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I probably will. Number one, finances. We don't have finances to hire somebody. In fact, eventually I'll be doing a barn dominium, and I actually won't even start it until I can hire somebody to do the basement and the shell, because I just don't want to do that. I don't feel like I need to prove anything, and I want to do the parts that I want to actually do, the fun parts for me, which is the finishing out stuff.
Yeah.
But so number one is finances, and number two, this is my dream. This is something my grandfather built houses. You know, my mom built things. You know, I kind of have grown up in that kind of family, and so I'm not a couch sitter. If I'm sitting and not doing, I have moderate depressive disorder, and that comes along with my PTSD, and it rears its ugly head. And so I like to stay busy. And I have found when people come to help, some people will comment about, oh, I'm so glad you got a man in there to help you. And I am not by any means a feminist,
no,
but it definitely ruffles my feathers.
Because we really do want men to be men.
Yeah.
We advocate for that.
Yes.
We like that men work so hard, and we appreciate that, and we would gladly step back and let them build if we had those husbands here.
Right.
But we don't, so we're doing this.
Right. And and I know that that's not what you guys mean. I know that you don't mean it that way, which is why I try really hard not to take it that way. I just do. And so it's kind of one of those things, if you're doing something and it's your baby, and then someone comes and helps, and then that kind of takes away your thunder. I guess that's kind of how I feel about this barn.
Yeah. I guess that kind of answers the other question too, why don't we have other people help more? Partly.
The biggest thing is the people that we know that are doing this, they're also YouTubing, and they're also building. So,
and or not YouTubing, but like Darla and Randy, they have a lot of projects that they are working on, and they are the biggest helpers of everybody. Yeah. So they really are limited on their time.
Yeah. And the one thing I don't want to do is waste somebody's time. So I will do everything that I can do, and then I will ask for people to come help.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to ask somebody to come here to help me. I feel like it's the boy that called wolf story, is when you are constantly asking them, people are like, obviously you can't do this, you shouldn't be doing it. But if I do everything that I can, and I'm just right on point and ready for either to learn something new because I don't know how to do it. It's not that I physically can't do it, I just don't know how. Or it's physical stuff that we can't do and we need help.
And we do have discussions about it. There's times where, like roofing, absolutely Heather should not be doing that alone. And we will have to get other people to help, because
we'll throw that out there and we'll ask, because we'd love to have it done very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to prove anything with roofing. And getting as many people here and getting the roof on so that we're not in the cold would be fantastic. Like, if we could literally get it done in like 4 days, would be amazing.
And part of this process of doing things around this property is learning and experiencing and getting stronger in what we're doing, so that we know for the next time. So it's all a learning experience.
So honestly, one of the things, and this literally just came to my head, is, so again, not wanting to offend anybody, but as a woman, when people come here, whenever I've hired somebody to come, there's always this thing of, are they lying to me? Are they trying to pull the wool over my eyes? So this learning how to do this is giving me that voice and that power to say, no, that's wrong, and you're not going to short things here. I want this done this way, and you are going to do it this way. And it's where in the past I've just been like, okay, I'm going to trust what you say, and then things go wrong, and then someone else comes in and they're like, well, this shouldn't have been done this way, this was done wrong. And
we don't want our house to fall down like other friends of ours. We do not.
No. So, luckily enough, we have a very close friend that I trust that will probably, hopefully, if we can get on his docket, build the barndominium. And, who knows, we may have a bunch of veterans here that are wanting to participate and help. And so building this place, yes, it's my home, but it's also a community space. And I think something that we didn't write down, someone had said, well, you can get funding for that. You can get nonprofit funding and stuff for that. And I don't know enough about all of that to stop what I'm doing and go start researching that stuff. So this is my home, number one, and I am opening my home up for this. It's not, so does that make sense?
Absolutely, because it means that much to you to try to help these veterans.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, I know when I was in seeing a psychologist, because I went untreated PTSD for probably 15 years, and it was ugly. It was not pretty. It was not a good thing. And so when I started going in and seeing psychiatrists, it was so difficult to sit in a space, and my answer to him in not a very kind manner was, you can't tell me to do that because you were not a veteran and you don't get it. And I said that multiple times. Bless that man's heart, he stuck with me though. Yeah. So, things that I can help. I can help train a service dog. I've done that. I've trained 7. I've bred, raised, and trained 7 service dogs. So that is something that I can do with veterans up here. There's just,
that would be amazing.
And I've kind of, that is also a big passion of mine,
right?
That we can do. We can rescue dogs, or I can help them pick out their dog. I'm a behavior specialist. This is what I can do. And so taking these things that I've learned and sharing them helps me heal, keeps me alive.
Yeah.
I think we're made to help others. We're literally on this planet to help others. And I did not think that way for a very, very long time. But once I started moving into that space, and I still have big reactions to things. I still, like the thing last winter and just shutting down and then feeling like it's not safe out there. I think that's something that people with PTSD do. I've seen people that don't have PTSD and they've had people do them wrong, like hard do them. My grandmother had a contractor steal $80,000 from her. She lost everything. And she is still the biggest people lover out there. Just like, and I'm like, how?
I think PTSD is just a continuous thing that you are always going to have and always going to battle. And it's working on your surroundings, working on giving back, working with your hands are all benefits to somebody who's suffering with that.
And I know for me, the biggest thing is when I realize I'm falling into bad behavior, bad patterns. Not behavior, but patterns. Because my behavior is to shut down and isolate. And I think that's a pretty normal thing for a lot of vets to do. And first responders too. Like a lot of your first responders were military, but so I don't really want to leave them out. But once I'm like, oh wait, girl, it's been 2 weeks. You haven't showered. Oh, you haven't been out and you haven't gone out into town, and you're not sick. You're not, and then I'm like, okay, I have to go do this thing, and I have to get out, and I have to go do. I'm wanting this to be a destination for that.
And that always makes you feel better.
Always.
It really does.
Every time.
It's kind of like when you go for a while without a shower and then you take one and you're like, oh, this is so lovely.
This is amazing. All right. Are we to move?
That's it for now.
All right. Let's go over the barn. We'll talk about
other things.
Barn things. Haha, we're a little bit in the shade. You guys, this is basically going to be an unedited video. You're getting all the things.
All of them. You can't see our faces now, but that's okay.
That's fine.
You can see that.
Oh, that's true. Dang it.
You can focus on the barn.
Okay, so one thing that I do want to say is about 35% of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you're one of them, if you could go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment, we would appreciate it. We are so close to 7,000 subscribers. In fact,
hopefully by the end of the day.
hopefully by the end of the day, I think we were 5 short this morning when I was looking. Yes, 6,995 subscribers, which is freaking phenomenal.
And thank you to all of you that have been throwing us out on other channels in their lives and under their comments.
It is working.
Yes, we have had
growing.
Quite a few channels kind of reach out and mention us. So knowing that we're doing this veteran thing.
And it's been super cool because they're not really channels that we knew. So we've gotten to go over there and get to know them.
Yeah.
Because you guys, anybody that supports us, we will support them. Period. That is how I feel. I mean, unless morally they don't align with us, then we're not gonna. Sorry, but not sorry. But you know, I really find that this community is very like-minded in general. Yes. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. How do you guys like the premiere videos? Do you enjoy them? Do you want us to try to do these at least once a month? Because we were kind of doing them for a while and then we stopped. So we like them. We enjoy doing them. If you guys like them, we'll throw that onto the docket.
And if you guys really like them, throw comment or questions down in the comments, and we will make sure that we keep an eye out for those questions, and we will not only answer you in the comments, but we will put that up for everybody else and answer them in this
because
format.
I could see every couple of weeks going through and pulling out questions. A lot of times I don't fully answer the questions in the comments because it's, you know, usually I'm answering comments when we're driving to and fro. So
it does take
or taking a break or whatever. So this way we get to really delve into answering it a little bit more and those kinds of things. So let us know.
Yes, I like it personally because I like being down in the comments. I think it's so much fun bantering with you guys and being able to kind of throw things back and forth. So.
And that's the people that do that. Those are the people that we really know. We look for.
Absolutely.
All right.
And we like to get to know new people too.
We do. We really do. So if you're new, don't feel intimidated. Just come on in.
Say hello. Say hello. Ask us another question.
Bring a cup of coffee. Buckle up for the ride and let's get it.
All right. So on to the questions here. So now that we have burned the wood, the question is, are we going to seal the wood?
Yes. But we are not going to use the lens. Okay, so fun fact, we looked up shoshugibani because we really wanted to make sure we were saying it right. I wasn't going to change how I said it because I like saying it that way. But what fun fact did we learn, Kimmy?
It is actually called yosigibon. And it's from, it originated in Japan, and it was something they did with a couple different kinds of woods out there, but yosigibon is the original name, and yoshugiban is the original name, and then the shoshugibon came from that.
And it lasts 80 years, so it is better than, I think, untreated.
That's it.
Just burned.
No oil, no nothing else.
So that will last 80 years. So that's something that we did not know when I was doing the voiceover. I would have thrown that in there, but we've learned since. And so we will be treating this. We are Benjamin Moore, who is a huge supporter of this channel. Our Ponderay store. Go over and tell Virgil hi and that we sent you. If you are looking for paint, I don't care what state you're in, and you shop somewhere else, don't tell us.
Benjamin Moore has some really good quality, and the people are just so knowledgeable.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so he's always supporting us, and he has gotten us some, it was some stain that was a little off colored. It didn't match really well, and we didn't like the color, so we just let the color sink to the bottom, and we're going to be using the clear sealant on the barn. So hopefully we can still get Brenda to come over here and help us. She was going to help us from Chasing Freedom.
She was going to help, and then it rained.
Yes,
so
the day
we had to postpone.
Yeah. So we are trying to get that done before some more rain comes in early in the week. So, but yes, we will be sealing it. Usually people will seal it with linseed oil. We are not doing that. No.
No.
I mean, good for them that they do.
That would be an interesting thing. We would just the oil, like we would have oil all
Everywhere,
over us. This would be a mess. It'd just be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Are we able to attach a pull or pulley to set the beams?
Okay. We have been, when I say we, me, I have been looking up the many different ways that we could set not only the beams, which we've already done, but the trusses. Because a crane is $800 for 4 hours. And if then after the 4 hours, which is your minimum payment.
Yeah.
So then after your 4 hours, it's like almost $200 an hour. So that money could be used to buy our gravel, our fill gravel, to bring this up to where it's supposed to be on, to do our pad, our concrete pad. So I'm really, truly trying to figure out some things. And Aaron from over at Barn Geeks, if you guys are going to be building a barn like this, go over to Barn Geeks. He's on YouTube. He has
the .com.
He has the .com. He has the website. He's fantastic. He's
so knowledgeable.
Well, he tagged me in a thing because when you purchase the plans from him, you get access to a Facebook page that other people that are building are on. So you get to kind of learn from them, and they're doing the same thing, and it's really, really cool. So go over there, tell them we said hi. And anyway, there was this thing that somebody had built. They've got them done in metal where they've been welded together. And you attach it to your bucket on your tractor, and then it can raise up. And that's our key. So our peak of our truss is going to be about 11.5 feet above our beams right there. And so those beams are set at 9.5 feet. So 9.5 and 11.5 is 21 feet up in the air to that peak. So we will need to actually be probably a foot over that. So we need it to go 22 feet up in the air. The tractor bucket raises 12 feet is what Victor told me.
But the ground is not level.
It does not raise 12 feet because those are at 9 feet. No, yeah, because those are down. So yeah, 12 feet. So we need a post. So 8x8 post that can come out of the bucket.
That's why if we had the gravel in, that would be great, because that would put us up that much higher, because there's areas where we have the dips and areas we have the ups.
Yes.
So that would be helpful.
So if we don't, okay, all disclaimer, we've already said this before, Kimmy and I are selling plasma to get cash to do the gravel. That's
literally sweat, blood, and tears here.
They wouldn't take it because they thought we were transient because I didn't have an address.
We did look a little homeless.
We did that. We looked a little homeless that day. But we, so we're getting into that. It's going to be about, I don't know, $1,500 total to get all of that done is what my son thought. All of the gravel is about $1,500. So we're going to be working on that. We've got to get that gravel up here before we start getting snow and ice, which is supposedly the end of November. We obviously want to have our roof on before then, so we've got to try to kind of figure some things out. But
yeah,
we are working on it. In fact, we did this yesterday. We started with our trusses, and we've pulled out 2, and we're going to kind of start setting them up and putting them together, getting the cuts that need to be done, and then I think we're going to try to assemble them in place at the base, and then we're going to try to lift them up with something like that. The thing with the pulleys is you've got to put your big beam that goes up and then your pulley on the top of that, and that has to go higher than what you have to go. So I feel like that would be a much longer 8x8, because I'm pretty sure that's what we would have, would be the smallest we could do, would be an 8x8. So with using the tractor, then we can do a shorter post. That's what I'm saying.
And we only have the tractor till the end of the month, yeah?
I think so, yeah. Because then my son does snow removal in the wintertime, and it needs to be down where he's working. Yeah. So we got to get on it.
Yeah.
Get on it. Get down on it. Was that our last question?
That was our last question.
So if you guys have any other questions, make sure that you leave your questions in the videos, because I just go through and there's a little thing that says answer your questions, and it'll pop up any that have a question mark. So make sure you have a question mark on it.
And if you had any questions today, I hope you got them all out, because this is over and we won't be able to answer any more.
Exactly. Have a fantastic week. See you guys later. Bye.